Hi everyone, and welcome back to my fourth video in the series of how to lose weight for good, fat for good, and this one's all about food labels. Now, I have spent a while trying to decide which way to take this because it's so complex. And that's even for me because I don't want to give you information that becomes really confusing. I want to keep it as simple as possible, enjoyable as possible, and really focus on a few examples so that you get an understanding of what you need to be looking at when you're shopping. So the first few myths that I want to bust is that even if it says 100% healthy whole grains, or it's fully natural, or there's no added sugar or no added fat, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be good for you. And that's really disappointing. And as a dietitian, I really loathe products that are emblazoned with these labels, because when you are looking at the package, you need to look further around the back at the nutritional ingredients as well as the nutritional panel. So before I explore the nutritional panel, I just want to draw your attention to the front of label packaging. Now, on a round circular packet, it's not so clear, but if you've got a box of cereal or a kind of a food group that has the front of label package, you will see that there could be a color code, and this is usually red, amber or green, telling you whether it's an area that you need to watch out for with high fats, high sugars, high salts, or that it's green and ready to eat. Now, actually, some of those labels are not accurate either, and we definitely need to go through that in another video. But what I want to show you is the actual issue that I face when I look at these front of label packaging is about portion size. This one here on the Oreo biscuit is one biscuit at 11 grams, and that's giving you the information there. It's not accurate because we don't eat just one biscuit, we eat several. Maybe it's not all at the one time, but it may be throughout the day. And that applies for things like bars of chocolate, fizzy drinks. It applies for any of the snacks that we eat. We don't tend to always go by the portion size because they are much smaller than actually what we would normally physically want to consume. So working out this packet of how many biscuits are actually in here, and it's very easy to consume a packet of biscuits in a day for some people. I see that quite frequently because it's just there ready to nibble at, and so it's really important to highlight that it's easy to work out. So we take out the 154 grams that's in this full packet and divide it by 11, which is the one biscuit serving size, and then we get the total number of biscuits, which is 14. Now, when we look at the calories and energy, that is totally transformed from the front of label package. We're now knowing that we're consuming 728 calories. That's a lot. We know that you would be consuming 102 grams of carbohydrates, and that's from wheat flour and sugars, quite processed. In terms of fat, there's about 38 grams of fat in there, which is a great deal of fat, especially when it's from a processed food source. And then our salt content is 1 gram, that's high. And then we also would be consuming a little bit of protein and a little bit of fiber, but nothing to the amounts that you would be needing for that amount of calories. So I mentioned the fact that it's coming from these processed ingredients. What does that actually mean? Well, our bodies are designed to be thermogenic. They burn energy, and we get our energy from our food, but the different types of foods we eat give us different ways of burning in our body, and that's often overlooked when people count macros and calories, and they believe that they can eat whatever they like as long as they fit those macros, and that is not true. We have some foods that are really critical to assist with our fat burning, and these are called thermogenic foods. And that is something that, as I say, gets overlooked, and then people wonder why they're consuming to their macros and their calories and they're not burning as much of the fat around their tummy as they would like. So I want to move on to an example that may be an area that you would look at and go, oh, well, it's got an issue with the fact that it's got a red symbol on the front, so I must put that back on the shelf. And actually, this is where the problems all become more apparent, because this is a packet of whole almonds and they are 100% natural by definition, because if you look at the packaging, that's what it tells you. So there's nothing artificial about these. But you can see directly here the color-coded label that it's telling you it's got a high fat percentage and value per serving. We need to drill down further, because actually that fat is of a good fat source. It's a monounsaturated fat, which is a healthy fat. And the thing there also that you need to look out for is the fact that this has got so much more protein and fiber in it also, which we can see here on the back of the pack. So when we're looking at the serving size, which is true at 25 grams, we've got 147 calories, not too high, 12 grams of fat, which is 80% unsaturated fats. We've got carbohydrates that are 2.4 grams of carbs, only one of them coming from sugar, and 3 grams of fiber, 5 grams of protein, and 0.0 grams of salt. So really an excellent snack. And here is actually the 25 grams of almonds that you would be consuming, which you could nibble on carefully and mindfully throughout the day and feel satisfied from the protein and the fiber. One of these is actually about 1 gram, so it's quite easy to count out 25, and that will give you a serve, and nutritionally far better than a packet of Oreos, although if you're looking at the labels, this might put you off. Now, we've touched on these macros. The one thing that hasn't even been talked about is the micronutrients, and that is where these processed foods like the biscuits are devoid of. And even if you find that you see some nutrients that are vitamins and minerals on some of these processed foods, they're actually chemically added, which really isn't what you want. You want to be enjoying foods that are naturally providing you with micronutrients, and something like almonds as a snack is a great example. It gives you natural sources of calcium, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus. There's a plethora, a variety of these nutrients that are just in there naturally occurring. So I hope you found that little snapshot of comparing one type of snack to another useful, and certainly leave me any comments in the comments box below. I'm always here to answer those questions, but I will cover in the next couple of videos more detail, and hopefully we get your shopping list looking far more nutritionally exciting, but also beneficial to your health. So many thanks for watching. Till the next time, take care. Bye.